Now let's talk about the stages of evolution in cryptocurrency. In the last 12 to 13 years, cryptocurrency has followed a few stages. And let's discuss the first, that is when it was invented. Let's cover the basics first. One, cryptocurrency such as a Bitcoin has a cap on supply. It is independent. It is decentralized. That is, nobody controls it. To be honest, everybody controls it because everybody has access to it. It is deflationary in nature. It is also seen as an inflation hedge, and it also has an automated predictable monetary policy. That is, every 4 years you will know how much exactly Bitcoin you'll be getting every 10 minutes. You know exactly what's the Bitcoin amount that a particular wallet has, that a miner has, and that is step one. Now once you get all the basics right, the step 2 is that it is supposed to be an unit of account. A unit of account is just a number system to ensure that everything is kept track of, and that it is just a number system to keep track of account. Step 3 is a store of value. What do I mean by a store of value? So store of value is that people should perceive it as something valuable. This became true when a person bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. That is, 10 to 12 years ago, he actually gave a value to Bitcoin. At that instant, Bitcoin, which was a digital abstract currency till then, became real. It became real world valuable asset. So whatever the value is, it is seen as a storage of value. Now, we know the value given to Bitcoin, and it is deflationary in nature. It has a cap in supply. So people see the value to keep on increasing because the demand will keep increasing. So people have started trading in it or investing in it, and it started in the year 2012 or 13. When people believe that the price of the value of this asset increases, and in India that is extremely important. We are in that particular position right now. We believe that the storage of value will increase, and that is why we tend to invest in cryptocurrencies. After this, step 4 becomes that it is seen as an asset class, as an investment class. Because of this, people have started trading in it, people have started performing investment, thinking that the value will keep increasing in the future. That is step 4. Step 5 is seen as a medium of exchange, that I can exchange my Bitcoin for a good or for a service. For example, if I want to buy a cup of coffee, I can exchange my Bitcoin for that, or if I want to buy a burger or whatever, I can exchange my Bitcoin for that. This starts occurring more and more often, and when it goes mainstream, that is mainstream public adoption occurs, people will start recognizing Bitcoin and people will start accepting Bitcoin. And this is already happening in the Silicon Valley. You can go to a restaurant, you can buy whatever you want, you pay in cryptocurrencies, and then you can come back. Step 6, this is seen as an unofficial tender. What is a tender? A tender is where there is mainstream acceptance of that particular currency already. You can perform transactions with it. I can pay my rent, I can pay my utility bills, I can do whatever I want with that particular currency. This, till now, Bitcoin was unofficial. It becomes official when the government passes a law. That is step 7. Step 7 is legal tender, legal official tender by small countries. So what a few small countries do is to combat hyperinflation, crime inequality, and to reduce the dependence on other countries, they tend to start using it as an official tender. For example, El Salvador recently says that Bitcoin is a legal tender. That means that the government of that particular jurisdiction has given recognition to Bitcoin through a law. So that we've seen as legal tender for small countries as step 7. Step 8 is legal tender by large countries such as India, China, US, etc. to ensure digital inclusion, to ensure financial inclusion, to bring mainstream money under the legal purview. The large countries start giving it a status of a legal tender because a lot of people would be accepting Bitcoin. If a lot of people are transacting with Bitcoin, you would want to regulate it. You would want to bring a law into it. So that is legal recognition by sovereign governments, large governments, which is step 8. Step 9 is a bit far, it is 10 to 20 to 30 years away, which is seen as a global legal reserve. To understand what I mean by that, right now, to perform international commerce, international trade, there are a few global currencies such as the US dollar, the Chinese yuan, the Japanese yen, the IMF SDR, etc., where you can perform inter-country transactions. For example, if India wants to perform a transaction with, say, Pakistan, you perform the transactions in the US dollar. So, this is known as a basket of international currencies. Now, Bitcoin could be one of these currencies, and this is what we call as a global legal reserve. So, now what happens is the US citizens will not accept Chinese yuan. The Chinese citizens will not accept US dollar. So they have to use a particular middleman currency, and that could be a decentralized currency such as Bitcoin. So from a global legal reserve point of view, it makes a lot of sense to add a currency which nobody controls as into the basket of international currencies. Step 10 is 50 to 100 years away, where everybody is using Bitcoin. All the technology and all the national currencies, they see it as a global legal reserve, and then they say that it is a global legal tender. This could be centuries away. So from a timeline perspective, since 2009, we've had Bitcoin as a unit of account. Since 2010, market good price discovery has happened, so automatically a store of value has been given to it. Medium of exchange, that is, people have started using Bitcoin to exchange goods and services since 2010. Now, since the value kept on increasing, people have started using it as an asset class, as an investment class for trading since 2013. Since 2014, it has been used as an unofficial tender in a few regions across the world. In 2021, one of the biggest steps, the step 7, that is legal tender by small countries, came up in the adoption of crypto. The next step that we are looking forward to is legal tender by large countries. After that, we want it to be a global reserve, a global legal reserve, to be a part of the basket of international currencies. After that, the final step is global legal tender, which could be 50 to 100 years away, where everybody across the world is using Bitcoin or any of the cryptocurrency which everybody accepts.